Most time when we ask Cursor to generate UI, at default it always generates this type of UI that you look at it, you know it's AI generated. So for the past few days, I've been looking to how can you get a model to generate much more personalized and unique design that has your branding, interesting interaction pattern. And most importantly, once you have one UI component that meets your quality and taste, you can scale it to all sorts of different UI components that has the same standard and quality across your whole application. And here I want to showcase what my overall workflow is so that you can really level up the design large language model produced for you. But firstly, I want to talk about a concept called Flow Engineer. It is something Andrew Kapsy mentioned about 1.5 years ago. Instead of prompt engineer, where you just give model a prompt and expect output something, the most sophisticated way is actually distill the expertise knowledge into a flow so that the output from the large language model can be constructed iteratively. And what I mean by that is instead of trying to figure out the perfect prompt possible, try to think about what are the core elements a really senior designer gonna do to produce a unique design. From my experience as a designer, normally I would design in multiple different steps. I would firstly try to figure out layout, what type of user journey will be so that I can decide the information hierarchy. And once I confirm the layout, then I will try to figure out the right themes, the branding, so that I can put together a high fidelity mockup. And meanwhile, I also want to add a little bit touch of animation. Only after that, we can start implementing on the front end. And at each step, large language model might produce multiple different results. I will iterate until I get one version that I like. And these 4 steps I list out here are just the starting point that I experimented the past few days. There are a lot more things can be tried and think about, like the reference mode, user flow, as well as content hierarchy. So there are a lot more things can be experimented, but I will just talk about this basic flow that I tried so far. I'm really keen to get you guys to experiment different things. First, I want to talk about layout. This is like a typical one-shot UI you will get from this model. It kind of feels functional, but a lot of detail just didn't look right. For example, this doesn't make sense to be centered. It should probably be left aligned. And also it might miss some information that I think is useful, like a description of the property and some call to action button. And once I found really useful is actually align on the layout pretty early on. One interesting experience I found is you can actually use ASCII as a very quick and fast way to align the layout with large language model. There was one time I tried to build a chat UI and I just prompted to, hey, help me think through the layout first. The model just output the whole UI in ASCII. And that was time I was quite surprised because it is actually a pretty effective way for me to understand, did the model understand what I want? Did it actually cover all the functionality that I intended to implement? But most importantly, it is way faster for a model to generate ASCII wireframe like this rather than implementing whole HTML or React page. So quite typical flow I went through when I was designing Super Design or even in Cursor is that I will ask it to quickly output ASCII wireframe of what the UI should look like. And you can see here, this is real time. I haven't added it. It's super fast. I get a quick result within like 1 second, and then I can quickly give feedback to realign what I want. Then it will very quickly generate a kind of new UI for me. And obviously we can like back and forth a few times. So this is extremely fast and cheap way for me to align with model about what the layout should look like and dramatically increase the chance that the output it generates is going to satisfy our needs. And you can even use that to communicate some interaction as well. In this example, where I try to demonstrate the chat UI, it will first generate this main UI of chat, but also show me when user click on the hamburger menu, a sidebar should show up that push the main interface away. It can also handle some a bit more sophisticated UI like crypto trading. It will have some creative way to figure out how to present and communicate UI with you. And with that, I even tried something more kind of like creative work. This is what I got when I asked it to like design a poster for AI Builder Club. And it is also able to generate those type of content hierarchy or post hierarchy for me. And model actually follow ASCII layout pretty well. In the end, it can output popular graphic design poster for me with some special layout like this triangle shape, which is not something that super common it will get one shot by itself. Those downside I found is that once you do use ASCII, it tend to make the UI a bit too simplified because in ASCII, there's no easy way to indicate like this font should be bigger than the rest. So the content hierarchy does feel like a bit too simplified. But I feel like with some experiments, we can either keep ASCII wireframe as right abstraction level, or we can figure out some new level of abstraction to communicate layout. So this is the first step of layout alignment. And second step of flow is theme. So theme including things like color, font, shadow, border radius, all sorts of things. This is probably the biggest and easiest leverage you can get to make a default AI-ish UI into something that feels really personalized onto your branding. And there are multiple ways for you to get the style right. You can either go to Dribble, Mobin, or any website to get some UI reference and just copy the image over and ask Cursor or Super Design to extract CSS style sheet from the UI mock. But generally, I found if you start from mockup, it normally gets to like 80%. It's almost never look like 100% similar. That's where a platform like TwigCN is really, really useful. So TwigCN is a platform that really just focusing on theme design. So you can come here, change the color, font, shadow, border, all sorts of things to create a very different and unique style. And this is where your human taste comes in to create something truly different. Things like font will have really big kind of impact of the design, as well as the primary colors. And they provide this type of UI for you to play with the style. And once you get the style right, you can click on the code button and just copy the style sheet over to Cursor or Super Design, and they will just try to replicate the same style for you. What you find is that once you have the style confirmed, the UI quality just became dramatically better. Like in this example, and this is what I originally got from Cloud. With some style change, I can make it look something like this, which is really different or high quality compared with what you normally get from AI. And Super Design also streamlined this process of same generation as well. So after confirming the layout of UI, it will generate a list of style sheets, which I can preview to see what kind of style it will be. And if I don't like certain style, I can ask to generate again until I got something that I really like. The point here is that you do want to allocate certain amount of token to just designing the scene and making sure it produces something that looks like what you want. Again, this is one of the key factors that will make your UI dramatically better. Last but not least, animation. So sometimes certain UI feels really good. It's not because just it looks better, but also it has like micro interactions, things through like inline editing with a nice style already, the nice hover effects, the sliding and slide out interactions, and make a UI feels from good to great. And I found that you can actually very easily just prompt the agent, think through the key user interactions and animation design. I will try to get it be concise and just communicate and represent animation in simple format like this, which is what type of elements need to be animated, what are the keyframes, and when it should be triggered. I found even as simple as this, it already gives Model a good amount of context to know that they need to consider those interactions when they build a UI. And there's some probably more advanced things you can do as well, like ask to generate a user flow of key interactions in Mermaid chart. A Mermaid chart is a type of graph representation in format like left side. Surprisingly, large language model is really good at understanding those type of Mermaid chart. And it can also go a bit more advanced as well to like really list out all the interactions into things through. But those are probably more useful for some complex projects. For most of the project, you can just go as simple as just ask a model to think through the animations and spit out a keyframe like this. And what's really cool is that once you spend time to get one component right, then you can scale to all the other UI components you want and build together a page. For example, here I got this property listing card that I'm pretty happy with. Then I will just prompt Cursor or Super Design, say, great, now help me generate another view, which is a calendar view to help people book inspections. With that prompt, again, it will confirm the UI layout with me, then design styling and animation, and in the end, output a calendar component, which actually looks pretty good. It has same set of styling and interactions. And after that, I also ask it to generate map view. Then it will generate me this map view with same button, content style, and animations, as well as the price history card that I can chuck into the property detail page. So you can imagine you can just keep going, build out whole UI components and give all those things as context to model, say, now put together a page for me with all those components. And those are just flow steps I have experienced so far for the past few days. There are a lot more things you can also experiment on your end to figure out which part are actually helping a lot in terms of output. Meanwhile, also baking this workflow in Super Design extension. And if you don't know Super Design, it is an open source project Jack and I have been building. It is basically a cursor extension that you can just open inside your IDE to start generating UI. It is totally public and free to use. It will firstly propose and generate the layout, and then it can generate the same. And when we have some kind of nice UX for you to just preview the same here, and you can ask it to iterate multiple times, and in the end, it will pull everything together and you will have this kind of infinite canvas directly in IDE to preview all different variations of the UI in the same screen. But if you want to learn more in depth about this kind of 4-step UI flow, I actually articulate those into a prompt that I normally use for Cursor, Cloud Code, and Super Design in the AI Builder Club, which is a community I have building where we have a group of top AI builders who are launching and building AI products. Myself and other people will just keep sharing some in-depth learnings and workflows of how to build and launch AI products, where I have some instruction about styling, icons, scripts, and the most importantly is a workflow here. I will ask it to follow this workflow of layout design, same design, the core animation design, then generate the actual UI with more detailed breakdown and example, which I initially just copy those prompts and create a custom mode in Cursor or Cloud Code. Almost immediately it gets better results. So if you're interested, you can click on the link in the description below. I'll continue to explore more ways to make the UI generation easier and faster and better. And if you know any good tips about UI AI generated design, please let me know. I would love to hear. Thank you and I'll see you next time.